I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday morning to you all. Hope you all had a nice Monday night. I had an interesting one. Looks like we're going to have a winning night, which is crazy, the path I took to get there. But first, Trev, you know what? Let's refer to social media here. Let's head on over to the Sauce Clips Twitter account, which is where we just post clips from the show. By the way, it's if you guys want to follow it on Twitter. I don't think they can hear it.
Damn.
I don't know if they could hear that or not. I've never tried to play a video from the internet browser. But what Trevor said is if Chad Patrick gets touched up in this game, I will fully admit that the Chad Patrick holiday is over. So should he be sent down to the minors?
He fanned 9 of them, sorry bastards tonight. All right, okay, they got lucky.
So you were pleased. You were pleased with the start.
I never said I was happy. I'm saying he struck out 9, only walked 1. Overall he looked
all
right.
He got smoked at home by the Pirates.
Hey, the Pirates play us tough all the time. It is what it is. It was tough, but hey, he struck out 9. That's you got to find the silver linings in life, and there's one. He can build on this. I'm not too concerned. You know what? Maybe I'll have to prove it a little bit. Maybe I won't go all gung ho for Mr. Chad P. But he'll be back. Have no fear. This pitching staff will get him right. Chris Hook will get him right.
Yeah, I enjoyed that plus 175. Speaking of which, Pirates was a gift horse.
Nationals was a gift horse, plus 162.
Yeah, well, that game's not over yet. But yeah, so this is how my night went. I placed 5 bets. I started off, every single bet was 1 unit. I started off 0-3, minus 3 units. So Kyle, 0-3, minus 3 units. How could you possibly have had a winning night? Well, my 4th bet was the Pirates at plus 175, and my last bet is Nats money line at plus 138. So as long as the Nats don't blow this 9-3 lead, which it's the Nats, I came back from the dead to finish in the green. You love to see it. But we got 15 games to get through, so let's go ahead and get into it. Rangers, Orioles in Baltimore. Spoon, I don't think you were in the voice chat. I don't think either of you guys were in the voice chat yet. We did this game first, and there seems to be people think Charlie Morton's good. Charles was like, ever since he figured his curveball out, and sports scientist Jacob is all in on Charlie Morton. They think Charlie Morton is a reliable starting pitcher. I laughed to myself just thinking about that sentence. Keep in mind, Corey Seager didn't play today. It was a planned rest day, so he's not hurt or anything. He'll be in the lineup. I think Charlie Morton gets hit up here, but the Rangers have not. I have nothing on this game. I was thinking over or pass. What do you think, Spoon?
Yeah, I have nothing on this game either. I don't agree with the sentiment that Charlie Morton's found it and is going to be a solid pitcher for the rest of the season moving forward. This isn't 2009. This is 2025. I think the Texas bats can get to him. I like that over. I don't know enough about what the Rangers are going to do pitching-wise to have a really strong take on this side. So I lean over, but I stayed off this game. I looked at the other 14 games a lot deeper.
Yeah, I put over up. I'm not betting this over. Did not bet this over. What about TV Jones?
Yeah, I actually don't mind Baltimore. Texas offense, I bet him tonight. Went with believing in Corbin. That was an absolute just mistake from the jump. But Baltimore's been fine. Charlie Morton has been fine lately. Yes, he got touched up by the Athletics in Sacramento. Everybody does. So it's just like Wrigley right now. Like you go there, you're going to give up runs, especially if the wind's blowing out. I mean, Tampa, he went 6 innings, 1 earned. Angels, 5 innings, 0 earned. White Sox, St. Louis, Washington, Minnesota, all 1 or 2 or 0 earned. I mean, he's been fine ever since that disastrous start of the season. I have no problem with Baltimore money line. Corey Seager's in the lineup. Ooh, super scary. He's been an absolute monster this year and last year too. No, I'm not scared of it. Give me Baltimore on the money line.
He was a monster last year, bro. What are you talking about? He was a monster last year.
He was hurt all the time.
Oh, was that 2 years ago when he was a monster?
2 years ago when they won the World Series. Yeah.
I thought he I thought he was good last year. Maybe I'm bugging.
I mean, obviously
he was very
like
good
a little
last
above
Yeah, he was
average,
like
but,
excellent last year.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that sentiment.
Yeah,
that
I
he
was gonna
not
say he
good
was
comes
like
from.
fucking
Hold up,
awesome
hold up.
last year. He had me second guessing. I was like, I thought he was like one of the best players in the league last year.
278, a 350. Okay, he was all right, but
He
they
was
still didn't do
all
dick.
right.
Wait, hold on. No, finish the stat line.
512 slug, 140 WRC plus.
Oh, 140 WRC plus.
Is
Okay, so
140 WRC plus a good number? Or is that a bad number?
It's a little above average. I want to say,
Bro, he
no,
said it
okay,
so-
yeah. So hands up, I was a little wrong on that, but still, the Rangers did nothing with that, and he's been in and out. I know he was healthy and he just didn't play because it was a lefty today, but I don't give a shit. If Texas busts some runs through and Baltimore can't, so be it. But I think Charlie Morton's been fine in this Baltimore lineup. Versus righties has been really damn good too. I mean, if you look at righties, just overall home and away, they're top 12 and 107 WRC plus. But you take them at righty at home here, they're second in baseball, 143 WRC plus last 3 weeks, 554 slug, 324 on base, 868 OPS, a 265 ISO. They've been mashing righties, so I will gladly play them tomorrow.
Yeah, it does seem when you're talking about the Orioles lineup coming to life, I can co-sign that. I cannot co-sign that Corey Seager was not good last year because that's freaking. He said it so confidently that he had me questioning myself. Like, really? Wait, maybe I'm misremembering. But let's move on to Athletics Tigers. And look, I think this one's interesting. People aren't going to like this, and I didn't bet it. But I think the A's plus 1.5 at plus 110 is worth a look to get that at plus money. Now, we talked about, me and Spoon were talking about, we ran the numbers, minus 1.5, terrible bet. You'd be down a fortune betting the minus 1.5 with favorites this year. Well, inversely, plus 1.5 has been a pretty good bet then, as long as it's the standard vig on both sides of the market, which it almost usually is. Plus 1.5, plus 110. The total's at 7. We are not expecting a lot of runs here. Severino has been a monster on the road. I mean, in his last 6 road starts, he has an 0.93 ERA. I didn't mess that up. 0.93. Yeah, you can question the competition a little bit. But he did go into Houston. That's one of the best home lineups in baseball. Kansas City pitched into the 8th inning, 1 run. Houston, on the road at Houston, 1 run, 6 innings. On the road at San Francisco, 6 shutout. On the road at Texas, 5 innings, 1 run. He's been excellent on the road this year when you take him out of that AAA ballpark. The Tigers lineup kind of slipping a little bit against righties, I'll show you. Obviously, we know the Tigers' great home lineup. They've been great at home all year. So if you look at their numbers at home, excellent here. Top 10 lineup at home in the last 30 days, but they've done a lot of their damage against lefties. Their numbers against righties are a little underwhelming. In the last 30 days, they're actually a slightly below average lineup against right-handed pitching. I think Severino could pitch well. Now, I'm not crazy enough to try and take the A's to score a bunch of runs off Skubal. Of course not. But I think if the A's can get 2 or 3 runs, that this is live. Like I said, the total's sitting at 7. So I didn't bet it, but I really, really wanted to take this plus 1.5. Spoon?
Yeah, I reflect a lot of that same sentiment. I don't know why you stop at a 1.5 with plus money. This is baseball. You got to drink some juice sometimes, and you can get a +2 at minus 124. +2. The bookmakers are telling you this is a 7.
Where can you get that? Where can you get
3, you push. This is a bet I'm really considering making right now. I already have 4 bets that I've placed. It's on DraftKings right now. You could build it somewhere, but it's something I might get on tomorrow. I look at their team total. It's at 2.5, and I don't know that they get 2.5 runs, but I think they can really keep it close. The bullpen for the A's, if you look at them on paper, look pretty terrible, but they do have some good arms back there that in a competitive game, I think they will get used. And I think Severino on the road is just a completely different pitcher. You were talking about it. It's just such a hard ballpark to pitch in there. So I think this is a much better spot here in Comerica. That +2 might make my card by the morning.
I don't hate that at all. Sports Science Jacob said he built a +2. Obviously, how he would do that is put some of the wager on plus 1.5, some of the wager on plus 2.5. If you're on a sports book that doesn't offer that, mathematically it comes out to be the same thing. So yeah, in a game where the total's at 7, I mean, how is having a plus 1.5, +2, +2.5 not a valuable bet, especially when in all likelihood Detroit's not batting in the bottom of the 9th. So I really want to place it. What about TV Jones?
Yeah, it would be Severino under 2.5 earned runs at even money here, or first 5 under. I'm gonna guess it's like 3.5 or something.
Oh, it's crazy.
Severino,
We looked at that. It's crazy.
yeah, I figured. Okay, so yeah, Severino under 2.5 earned.
You have a price or
again?
Estimation?
Yeah, even money.
Plus 100 or minus 110?
Plus 100. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, Severino, granted, he's played Kansas City, at Houston, at San Fran, at Texas, at Milwaukee, and then at Seattle, but he's given up no more than 1. Yes, he gave up 2 against Houston, but that was due to an error. Like, it wasn't his fault, so he only had 1 earned that game. Hasn't given up more than 1 on the road all year. He's been really, really good. And if you look at the weather in this one here, the wind is blowing out to the left field corner, but it's going to be rain. It's going to be 90 degrees. I think it's going to be, I know it'll be humid and it'll be ideal hitting conditions. Detroit can hit righties, but if you look at the righties they've seen, I mean, Littell 1, Pepio 1, Shane Baz, they got 5 off of them. But I mean, other than that, they've gotten like 1 or 2 off of guys. Nick Martinez and Cade Horton, cool. Everybody's getting that much off of those guys. So, it would be Severino under 2.5 earned runs tomorrow. Not to mention, due to the rain, potential maybe we get a rain delay middle of it or something. If there's some lightning that pops up, and then they're gone for an hour and a half, and then he just doesn't even come back after the third, fourth inning, whatever the hell it is. So under 2.5 for me.
Someone asked how to build the +2. Honestly, rather than me explain the formula, just go to ChatGPT and said plus 1.5 is this, plus 2.5 is this. How do I get an equal +2? They'll spit out the unit sizes on both bets in 2 seconds.
If you shoot me a message on X, I have a calculator for it. A different capper Ron Crawford built. It's perfect for this situation. It works for team totals just the same.
Cool. All right, let's move on. John Bender says, take off the diapers and play the +240. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to. And especially because I hit the Rockies at +180 last night, hit the Pirates at +175. Like, I'm on a little bit of a heater with these big home run swings.
I mean, Scooble's given up. He did just give up 2 at Pittsburgh. Other than that, 0-1, 0-0. I mean, he's been lights out the last month or so. I mean, in general, the entire year, but.
Next up is Toronto-Cleveland. Now, obviously, the lead story in this one is going to be Cleveland against a lefty, right? Eric Lauer. And Eric Lauer's been pretty good. I can't, and I'm sure Trevor can attest to this, I can't unsee what he did last year. I mean, he was terrible with the Brewers last year. So I guess he's been pitching pretty well, because in the voice chat, I was like, I can't trust Eric Lauer at all. And everyone was like, why not? He's been pitching well. And I looked, and I was like, shit, he has been pitching well. I just can't unsee last year. Beautiful weather in Cleveland here. I think we see runs. I really want to take an over 8.5. Someone mentioned in the voice chat they were taking a Toronto team total over 4.5. I don't hate that either. It's obviously Toronto runs is probably the less scary side. But I just think it's too beautiful. Oh, wow. There's a couple 9s popping up. Are we going to be able to get 8.5s? The 8.5s might be gone soon. This is what I want. I'll put this up. TV Jones, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I like Toronto. I'm gonna bet Toronto again. 1-0 in my last 1 Toronto bets. So don't let me get hot here. But Logan, I'm not a fan of Logan Allen. I don't think many people really are. Lauer has been really good this year. We know Cleveland's offense at home is not as good as they are on the road. But they have been hitting lefties. You got to give it to them. Granted, it was J.P. Sears. They did get Robbie Ray, Lodolo, and Wade Miley, whatever. Wade Miley for 3, Lodolo for 6, Robbie Ray for 3, and then Sears for 3. In between that, they have 1 against Jeff Springs and then 0 off of Abbott, that 9-inning shutout that they lost 1-0. I think Lauer will be fine. I think Toronto versus lefties obviously is a spot you like to back them because they've been really good. I mean, last 3 weeks, their top 10 lineup, they have a sub 15% strikeout percentage. They've been just fine. So, maybe even if you want to dabble in a little Logan Allen under strikeouts, don't necessarily hate that either, but it'd be Toronto money line for me tomorrow.
I don't even remember hearing you talk about this game, Spoon. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
I like this over. Ballpark Pal has this modeled at plus 9% runs, plus 19% home runs. Eric Lauer's a guy I don't have a ton of trust in. Same with Allen on the other side. I think both of these bats in the nice weather can probably score some runs. The books are telling you that by moving it up. I think there's enough plays elsewhere on the board. Like, while I say all that, Cleveland's terrible versus lefties. Lauer hasn't been pitching bad. Why can't he pitch another good game here? And Allen, while I'm not a big fan of him, he does have all the tools in his belt, and this is a park that he's pretty comfortable in. So I could see it going both ways, and I just didn't end up getting there. But with everything modeled the way the market's looking, I think the over is the bet.
Yeah, I agree. I was close to betting this one.
And if you think there's going to be runs, I mean, Toronto's going to get some too. So, I mean, Logan Allen might not even be out there for a full 5 innings at under strikeouts. And I'm actually really double tempted with that now too. I might double dip on this game.
Oh, it's some double dipping.
A little double dip.
Same chip?
Same chip, double dip. You know it.
Do you turn it around, or do you just raw dog back in?
Raw dog.
Oh, yeah, of course. I don't give a shit. I'm not sharing my
The
dip.
etiquette, you got to turn the chip around if you're going to double dip.
I suppose it depends
No, I
on
don't
the
share
setting
my dip.
and the guests and whether I'm being watched. Spoon, let Spoon take this one away. He's about to tell you who Chase Burns is, up and coming, highly touted prospect for the Reds.
Yeah, so this is a top 10 prospect in all of baseball. He's a very mature kid, 3 years of college, 2 years at Tennessee, 1 year at Wake Forest. He's just absolutely dominated the minors at every level. He's pitched at single A, double A, and triple A this year. He hasn't seen a hiccup one spot. He's got 2 fastballs, one touching over 98 miles an hour, 2 really good off-speed pitches. They're both listed as plus. I think this is a kid that has all the potential to be really good in the major leagues. This is a Yankees bats that kind of scare me a little bit. One thing I note with Chase Burns, that while he's a top prospect, he only had 12 innings in AAA, and AAA is where you first use the major league ball. In AA, you're using a ball that's closer to what they use in high school and college, and the laces are different. The way pitchers handle it are different. So I don't know if we have enough numbers with him in this ball to really back him. But then I look at where the market is setting this line versus the Yankees. I look at the Reds bullpen. It looks very taxed. I think this should be a much heavier line for the Yankees, and I think this is a gift for the Reds here, this plus 1.5. We already mentioned it tonight, the minus 1.5 in this range. If you've been betting it blindly, you're down almost 50 units on the season. And so that means the plus 1.5, you're doing a lot better. I haven't moved on this yet. I'm going to wait because I expect a lot of Yankees backers to say, who is this? And pile big stacks of money on the Yankees money line tomorrow. I expect it to get put in parlays. That minus 1.5, I expect a ton of people to be hitting. I think Chase Burns can really keep this Cincinnati team in this game. I heard you talking about it the other day. You don't trust a lot of arms in this Cincinnati bullpen. I do. I think there's very deep here. This is one of the underperforming pens that has the arms to stay in this plus 1.5. Put me up for it on the board. I'm going to wait till I can get this better. I think I see it minus 115, minus 120-ish right now. I bet you can get this closer to plus 100 tomorrow around game time.
I would imagine you'll get a better number. I mean, I'm looking at the usage. I mean, no Pagan for the Reds, but I mean, in a plus 1.5, you would only see Pagan if they were winning anyway. So maybe no Pagan doesn't kill you quite as much holding the plus 1.5. Santillan, 3 of the last 4 through 24 pitches. I don't know if he's available. Same goes for Scott Barlow. So the Reds bullpen is a little bit on the tax side, and it was Seibert in the comments. So under all the way, don't even think about it. And Yankees can't hit crap. And I hear you. I will say this is a little concerning. Plus 32% home run. It's a beautiful day with hot weather, slight wind blowing out at Great American. Second on the board. Almost the run index is almost equal to Coors Field tomorrow. So it's beautiful run scoring weather. And although Chase Burns is a highly touted prospect, it is his first major league start against the New York Yankees. Nurse can get the best of anybody. I kind of think the Yankees win, if I'm being honest. There's 0% chance I would lay this number, but if I was to bet it, I'd probably go, I guess, under. I don't really have any interest in this one. TV Jones?
Yeah, Spoon already said it. I really like this Chase Burns kid, too. I mean, if you look at him throughout his minor league career, I mean, he's got a sub 1 whip against lefties and .62 whip against righties this year. And then with guys in scoring position, if he gets into some trouble, he's dealt with that 12 and a third total innings, 39 batters faced, only 4 hits, 18 Ks, and only a single walk. He knows how to get out of jams when he finds himself in it, and he's been really damn good. And if you look at the Yankees versus righties lately, They got to Zach Eflin for 6 and Sagano for 3. Other than that, 2 against Kakanowicz, 1 off of Kramer, 0 off of Hendrick, 0 off Soriano, 0 off Bayo, 0 off Dobbins, and 0 off Lugo. They've been cold versus righties lately. Chase Burns, they've never seen him. They don't have any film on him. It's going to be sit there and figure out and try to learn how to do it. I think Rodon can give it up a little bit. Cincinnati's been scoring runs too. I mean, let's take a gander at their runs. 6, 4, 5. They did get 1 on last Friday, but on that 5, 4, 6, 8, 11, 5. Like they've been scoring lately. So I think with Burns going, it's gonna be similar to Mizorowski with the Brewers, how that offense showed up and clicked up. I think the Reds are going to be fine tomorrow too. So I'm going to be on the Reds money line at some point. And like Spoon said, everybody and their brother is going to see Rodon at a minus 150 price, 155. Throw it into money lines, everything else. I think it burns them tomorrow. I think this could easily be like a 4-2 type of game or something like that.
Oh, you think it burns them? Pun intended.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Wow, nicely done. That's why he's in the business. Let's move on to Braves Mets. I have no freaking idea. You guys can talk about this one. I don't know. Is Strider back? Are the Mets ever going to hit? Frankie Montas, what the hell to expect there? I have this pegged as the ultimate what the hell game. Now, to the Braves' credit, their bullpen is fine. They won a close game tonight, but maybe Dylan Lee is not available. Other than that, they're going to have Iglesias available. They're going to have Aaron Bummer. They're going to have Pierce Johnson. So the Braves, despite winning a close game, their bullpen's fine. They're obviously playing much better baseball than the Mets. Frankie Montas, who the hell knows? I mean, I would think that the Braves should be in position to win this game. Minus 150 seems a bit steep. But, I mean, I don't have the nuts to bet Mets at plus 124. So I'll say over or pass, but this is another one that I'm no interest at all in. Spoon? Muted. You're muted.
I don't have a bet in this game at this point. I think Strider's probably liable to get touched here. He just faced this Mets lineup in his last start, and it was probably his best start of the season. He gave up 5 hits to this Mets team. They only got 1 earned off him. I think they probably, just the familiarity of just seeing it already this close, I think it really favors the bats here. I think Atlanta bats can get to him. The big question mark for me is Frankie Montas. This is a guy that, he looked pretty good years ago on the Athletics, but this is a much different environment here. I think probably just an over for me would be how I would attack this. A reason I don't want to do this is it's Citi Field. If you look at just the run value here, you're looking at a 29th out of like 30 stadiums in baseball. So it's not really a place to try to attack overs. And if I am, I don't want to be trying to beat a 9. I want a lower number than that.
Absolutely. Taking an over 9 at Citi Field, it just doesn't even feel right. So I'm with you, but it would only be over for me as well. What about TV Jones?
Yeah, Braves over 4.5 minus 130. Frankie Montas, more like Frankie Montas. He's been terrible. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp just touched him up for 5 in 5 innings. The Rail Riders got him for 8. The Buffalo Bisons back-to-back got him for 5 and 8. And then the Aberdeen Ironbirds and the Jersey Shore Blue Claws got 2 off of him in 3 innings or less. He's not been sharp whatsoever in the minors. Now he's getting sent up to face this Braves team. Braves were hitting the ball tonight. Acuna kind of that first inning fucked everything up, getting thrown out at third there. But I think they're not going to have any issues scoring runs off of Frankie Montas tomorrow. Over 4.5. No problem. I really wanted to bet Atlanta money line, but exact reason that Spoon said the Mets just saw him. So I don't want to dick around with that, but I'll isolate the Braves bats against Montas. No problem here tomorrow.
Doubting Frankie.
Big time.
Remember,
Ex-Brewer.
Frankie can pitch in pitchers' parks. Let's not forget his days in Oakland.
Well, when I see that the Jersey Shore Blue Claws got 2 off of you and you walked them twice in an inning and third, I have no problem with that.
What?
Where's the hate for the Blue Claws?
Yeah, what
coming?
the hell? Why are you taking shots at the Blue Claws? That's
it was the funniest team name that I saw on the list.
That's my local team, bro.
My bad. All right, well, how about the Jumbo Shrimp got him for 5?
They're the Jersey Shore Blue Claws now?
That's what Baseball Savant says.
They changed their name from the Lakewood Blue Claws? That must be recently. That's like 8 minutes from my house. All right, Pirates, Brewers.
Word. Cubs lost too. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, but the Cubs didn't lose to the Pirates though. All right.
They did lose to the Brewers.
Fastball Freddie against the team that he struggled with. Now it's gotten exaggerated. We actually went and looked. So the Brewers are actually above 500 when Freddie Peralta starts against the Pirates in his career. They're 6-7 in his last 13 starts against the Pirates. So the Pirates actually have an above 500 record against the Brewers when Freddie Peralta pitches. So they do tend to win these games at a high rate, and considering how they're normally priced in them, it's definitely been profitable to bet the Pirates against Freddie Peralta. That being said, this is a concern right here. I'll bring it up on the screen. Now, they did save a couple of arms, and I was cursing at the screen for doing it when they left Matson in there and almost ruined my bet. You're not going to see Bednar here. He threw back-to-back nights. You're probably not going to see Ashcraft. He started the game through 35 pitches. Maybe you see Shugart. You're probably not going to see Matson. He threw 31 pitches, and they were like high-intensity pitches too. Men on base. You're not going to see him. You're not going to see Stratton. So, I mean, the Pirates' bullpen is limited. Heaney's going to be forced to eat some innings in this game. They could also bring in Wadzinski at some point as well. I think this is a Brewer spot. We were talking about it. This might be one of those. This is right in the price range when we ran the numbers. The most profitable spot to take the -1 this year have been favorites in between like -180 to -220. So we're right in the range. So I was eyeing up Brewers -1. I didn't end up betting it because I'm scared of that Freddie Peralta versus the Pirates juju. I'll put Brewers -1 up, and then I'll get a price. I don't even have a price for it at the moment. Spoon, do you have a Brewers -1 price in front of you by any chance?
Let Jonesy do it. I have that book open, so it'll be really quick.
All right, TV Jones, tell us about the Brewer crew and Fastball Freddie.
Yeah, Fastball Freddie. Like you went over it. Historically, the Pirates always give him issues. Like, it is what it is. But he's been better this year than he has, last year when he was pretty rough. Brewers bats tonight had multiple chances to score more runs, and the Pirates had 13 hits or some shit tonight. Still struck out 16 total times. They're getting a hit or striking out. I don't want to pay 200 for the Brewers though, and Peralta.
-162 for the -1 because of the low total. You don't scrape that much juice.
I don't even want to pay that much with it, to be honest. If I had to, it would just be over 7.5. I think Peralta can give up a few runs, and then Heaney has not been sharp lately. On the road at Detroit 7, at the Cubs 3, at the Padres 2, at Arizona 5. I mean, he had a nice outing against Philly and everything prior to that, but he's just not been looking sharp lately. And then if you go back all the way to that Arizona, which, by the way, this will be 5 of his last 6 are going to be road starts. He's given up four home runs. He's had 2, 3, 5, and 2, and then a 7 strikeout game against the Cubs. He has not looked like the same Andrew Heaney that started the year when he looked decent. He's starting to kind of regress a little bit. And the Brewers versus lefties, the last 3 weeks here, 7th in baseball, 111 RC plus, 762 OPS. Their ISO is not amazing, but Haney's been giving it up. Brewers have been hitting lefties and scoring runs like crazy lately. So it would be over 7.5 for me, or maybe just a Brewers team total over, just to isolate it. Haney in this bullpen, but yeah, it would be over nothing for me personally.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are saying are believing in this Pirates lineup right now, and I mean, I just cast a bet on the Pirates, so I'm not really buying it. I mean, they got to Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker. They are still arguably the worst lineup in baseball in the last 14 days. They are 30th in WRC plus, so I don't think they're going to touch Fastball Freddie. Sports scientist Jacob said he built a -145 on the -1, by the way. And is that Tabby Cab? That's Cab that was on, right? Oh, what's up, man? He said Burleson has cashed his total base prop in 9 of 10 games. Cashed it plus money today, so we'll get to
Burleson's been on fire.
Yeah, he hit a home run tonight. Spoon, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is, like you were just talking about this lineup, it's not arguably the worst lineup in baseball. It is. They're 29th, they're 30th in just any hitting category you want to look at. Freddie Peralta, while you mentioned his struggles versus this team in the past, that's just something that's happened in the past. That's not a predictive stat in any way, shape, or form for me. So this is a Brewers smash spot. I think if you do this, you just have to play the money line. There's a total at 7.5. This is a low total. You're going to sit there and sweat out the whole game with that -1 for a 40-cent difference. If you can find a book where you can, like, you don't have to do this at one book. If you can find a 1.5 or something and you can get it closer, I hear Jacob said a -140 something. That was just what DK put out for the -160. Maybe do that, but there's a way to put this with maybe another big favorite and make some money off it. It's not going to be on my card, though. I don't like Andrew Heaney, and I think the bats can get to him.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the next one. It's not on mine either. I kind of like it, though. Let's move on to...
You got the gift horse shirt on.
Yeah. Gift Seattle, Minnesota.
Are you selling those or what?
Yeah, they're on the website. I'll send you one.
All right, I'm gonna have to snag one.
I'll send one out to Wisconsin.
Hell yeah.
Mariners, Twins in Minnesota. I'm imagining. I just put the poll up. I would imagine. Not that this should influence your decision, but I would imagine everyone is about to click Mariners at this price, man. With Castillo on the mound against Paddock. Mariners save all their bullpen arms. They win by 6 runs or whatever the hell it was. I had 11. Oh yeah, that's right. They hit it. They scored more late. It was 11-2. I had Twins money line. Actually, really liked it. Obviously, not even close. Man, what the hell is this price? What is the total? I feel like this one should be Mariners -120 with a 9 juice to the over. I feel like I'm way off on where the market has this one. TV Jones, do you have anything? I mean, are you just saying don't overthink it, take the Mariners?
No, I really want to bet the Twins, but I don't know if I have the nuts. I don't know if I have the nuts to do it. I mean, Castillo, he's been giving up home runs lately. He's walking guys. He's not striking out. Wait, I'm looking at this Luis Severino, you idiot. I just had where the hell's the Luis? There we go, Castillo. Yeah, I was gonna say Castillo's been giving up home runs. Game log. Where the hell? Dashboard. All right. Here we go. Yeah. 2, 2, and 3 home runs the last 3 games. He's walked 5 guys, 5, 7, and 5 strikeouts, 5 the game prior. He's given up hits, but he's given up like power hits, like extra base hits and home runs. The Twins, I know they didn't look great tonight, but Castillo hasn't been incredibly sharp. You're going to get the Mariners at basically even money, and they've scored about 1,900 runs the last 5 games. I don't really have any super supreme logic on this. It just this price, Castillo's not been sharp. Paddock has been all right. The Twins have shown that they can hit. I just like the Twins at this price. I think I'm with you. This is kind of like the Yankees thing. This feels like you're going to see Castillo and the Mariners at basically even money against the Twins, who nobody wants to bet. Nobody likes betting the Twins. It always hurts. It's painful. I want to do it tomorrow. I want to do it, but I don't know if I have the stones to do it. It's just a pure fade of Castillo and a back of Paddock here, to be honest.
I hate that. I kind of agree. I don't even want to put it up, though. Spoon, what do you think?
So if we look at this, Paddock's only pitched 2 games at home. Like, he's been living on the road, and he's pitched really well at home in those 2 games, just giving up 2 runs in each. The Seattle lineup, if you look at their numbers, I feel like they're heavily skewed just recently by these past few series. The Cubs, I mean, that was just abnormal weather. 9 home runs in a single game is not something you're going to see a lot. So the numbers are going to look really good any way you kind of look at them recently for the Mariners. But the Twins bats look really well as like top 10 in baseball in just about any stat, WRC plus, OPS, last 14 days, last 30 days. They hit well at home. Luis Castillo, he's a pitcher that can always get hit up. He's got some good stuff, but sometimes he starts walking guys. The hits add up. I don't know why the Twins can't get to him. I was on the Twins with you today. That was a tough loss. It happens. But the same reason I was on them today, like, I love that Twins bullpen. I think if we can get a good start from Chris Paddock, which I think the books are telling you by lining it right here, I mean, he's going to have a good start. They wouldn't put the price right here if they didn't believe that. They're not giving away money, even if it's still limits right now. Like, they're not going to push this line 40 cents from a pick 'em kind of price. I think Paddock's going to pitch well. I like the Twins money line. Put me up for it on the board. It's not one of the bets I've made yet, but I do like it. I think this Twins bullpen's great. I think Paddock is having a good season, and he's had a couple of bad starts, and he's going to be really happy to be pitching at home.
Shit. I guess.
Right on.
I guess I'll put it up. I'm not. All right. How about this? If I see a Twins plus 100 at any point, I'll take it.
Oh, you know Seattle's going to take money, and this is going to move.
Yeah, but it's going to take influential money. Probably
Fair
taking
point.
money already. If I get a Twins plus 100 at any point, I'll pull the trigger, and I'll hate myself for it. A self-loathing decision. Next up, we got.
So quick, you forgot. You took the Twins today. There was reasons. All those reasons still exist. All the bats are still there. The bullpen's still there. The bullpen's even fresher. You should like it more.
I know.
It's just that recency bias that weighs so heavy on us.
It was not just that. Like, it was ugly, man. It was like terrible defense. They just looked terrible. It like
range of outcomes.
Yeah.
Well, Bailey Ober, he ain't that guy, pal.
He's not. You don't think?
Nah.
What?
Also,
What happened to my
cast
poll?
the Nats.
There we go. All right. So anyway, next up, Rays Royals. I got two bets in this one. I bet the side and the total. I'm on the Rays at plus 122, and I am on the over 8.5. So I bet this one two ways. Obviously, these are probably my favorite games so far, but my favorite game yesterday was Twins. The two favorite games I said last night both lost. It was a miracle that I had a winning night. So let's go ahead and get the over up here. And I think this is a pretty self-explanatory. I mean, the polls agreeing with me here. I think this is going to close. I wouldn't be surprised if this closes at plus 105. The Rays have been hitting. That's no secret. You guys already know that. But specifically, they've been hitting lefties. Actually, in the last 30 days, this is one of the best lineups in baseball, period, and one of the best lineups in baseball against left-handed pitching. You can see here, last 30 days, this is the best lineup in baseball, first in WRC+. And by the way, WRC+ is ballpark adjusted. So if you're thinking, oh, it's because they play in that ballpark. No, that's ballpark adjusted there. Against lefties, third in the last 30 days. If you look at the lefties they've seen, I mean, they're hitting them all. When's the last lefty that pitched a good game? You got Framber Valdez pitched a good game against them. Other than that, they are hitting. They're getting guys on base. They're scoring on every lefty they see. And I know maybe these names don't quite match up to Chris Bubich, but hold on. Chris Bubich is looking shaky, man. Last two starts, the Yankees gave him all kinds of problems. 10 base runners to the Rangers. I didn't even know the Rangers knew how to get guys on base. So Bubich has looked shaky in the last couple, his last couple times out. Not to mention, you got to look here as well. Look at the weather. Beautiful weather in Kansas City. It's going to be hot. You got wind blowing out to left center, plus 10% run index. You got Kansas City up there with Cincinnati and Colorado in terms of run index. So it's beautiful run scoring weather. The Royals are the worst home lineup in baseball, by the way, in case you guys need to see that. It's actually not close. They are 30s everywhere. Last 14 days, 30s. Last 30, 30s. Full season, 30s. They are the worst home lineup in baseball. I do think they might score a little bit off of Taj Bradley because of the weather. But overall, I expect the Rays to score runs off Bubich. Give me the Rays at plus 122. I think it closes at plus 110-ish. Give me the over at 8.5. I think it closes at 9. Spoon, are you with me?
I am. I actually bet it. I got the plus 122, not the over. I got Tampa Bay money line. If you look at Taj Bradley, I think a lot of people are going to look at him and be like, why would you try to back this guy? He's coming off a start where he just gave up 6 earned in 1 1/3 to Baltimore. And I look at a guy that's thrown 7 out of his 10 games so far this season in the state of Florida, the hot, sticky humidness. And he's been at Houston as well. This is a nice ballpark to get to go to for him. Kansas City, this is going to be one of the most pitcher-friendly environments he's had the chance to pitch in this year. He's going up against a guy in Chris Bubich who has had a really good season as far as I think people's expectations for him go. But these last couple starts, the Yankees, the Rangers have shown the ability to kind of break the chink in the armor and get some runs off him. Combined 15 hits in 11 innings. I think Tampa Bay's offense, you were just showing all those numbers. I completely reiterate, they're going to get to Bubich. And I think Taj Bradley I think he's the big X factor, and he's a guy I have a lot of faith in. That one start on the road, he had his best xFIP of the season at Houston. It's a nice little pitcher's park there. I think Kauffman is going to be a spot where he really likes this. If you give up a fly ball in his home park, it goes to the warning track. If you give up a fly ball here, his outfield has a really good chance to get to him. And he's got some really good defensive outfielders behind him. So Tampa Bay money line, it's on my card. Bullpens are set up pretty well for them as well.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm with you. Jonesy, are we three-peating the Rays?
Yeah, you guys took everything. It's Rays money line. I got plus 127. Don't hate that over either. But the main selling Guadalajara plus 127.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
sniper.
Oh yeah, that's what they call me.
They call him
Easy
the
money sniper.
Guadalajaran sniper. All right, let's move on. I mean, we just talked. I mean, I'm assuming you were going to say the same things we were.
Yeah, you took it out. Lefties, Royals at home, all that good shit.
Diamondbacks, White Sox, and I think this is my asshole move of the day here. We talked about, I swear to God, I talked about liking the Diamondbacks in the voice chat for like 10 straight minutes. Then I came on the live show and talked about how much I like the Diamondbacks, said it was minus 125. I think it's going to close at minus 145. I probably spent 20 minutes of my night last night talking about how much I like the Diamondbacks. Didn't bet it. They won like 15-0. Just like, what? Like, that game started. They were up like 8-0, and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? Why didn't I bet that? Yeah, I left money on the board there. I think I walked upstairs during this section of the voice chat. I didn't even look at this game yet. Spoon, did you take a look at it?
I didn't get too deep into this one. Arizona's missing, I think, 1 or 2 bats. I don't think Carroll's going to be in there. I think Naylor also left the game today with an injury. And Suarez. So this is a spot where I think you might have some weird line movement that might not necessarily reflect just the betting numbers. Just some of the bats might be missing. When you have this many moving pieces, it's not something I'm that interested in. This is Sean Burke, a pitcher that I think his numbers are worse than his ability to pitch. If I were going to be forced to put a bet here, it would just be White Sox first 5 and just hope that the weak lineup doesn't necessarily get to him. But I don't know, maybe Carroll finds a way to go. I think it was a hand injury he's dealing with, and I'm not certain on Naylor, so it's too much uncertainty for me. I'm off the game, but that White Sox first 5, there's value associated with it.
So is the starting pitcher is going to be Leisure or Tyler? It's a bullpen day for the White Sox, right?
So I thought it was Leisure as an opener and then Burke coming in.
Tyler
I saw Alexander.
It says Alexander on RotoWire. Odds Logic says undecided. ESPN says Leisure. So yeah, we're kind of all over the place. Look. Depending on what as far as the Arizona injuries, and I know you just touched on this. So Corbin Carroll's up in the air. Who's the guy that left with an injury today? That was Gurriel? Suarez left with an injury. Oh shit, he's on my fantasy team. I gotta check that.
Same, man.
So Suarez left with an injury. If Corbin Carroll doesn't play, just saying. What do you think, TV? I mean, I just hit a big plus.
This is how the Rockies game happened the other day.
I know, and I hit a big plus 180 with that.
All you need is Ketel Marte to just have like a bad lunch or something, and you're getting some amazing.
I can arrange that. I can arrange a bad lunch sent to him. Now, let's just say I'm considering it. I'll put it up there. White Sox plus 135. I'm considering it. TV Jones?
Yeah, it would be over 9 for me. I don't care who's in the lineup. The Rockies game was an outlier game. I know they didn't have anybody in which they could potentially be in this situation too, but that offense can still score. White Sox, I think their bats are all right. I don't trust any of their pitchers, especially with Shane Smith, who was that dude. He ain't that guy anymore. He ain't that guy, pal. He's just another dude. So I have no problem betting an over in this one, but I'm honestly probably just going to stay away. Given the injuries, but I would not want to be backing an under in this game no matter what. And Ryan Nelson's been really good outside of that one bad start against at Cincinnati, gave up 7. Otherwise 1-0, 0-0, 1-2, 0-2, 0-1. He's been fine. No issue, but I think White Sox can get 2 off of him, 3 off of him, and then I think Arizona's can do a majority of the heavy lifting here tomorrow.
Dude, the Diamondbacks lineup hasn't been quite as explosive against righties recently. I'm not going to bet this. I need like a plus 150. So maybe depending on what the market's looking like tomorrow.
There's way better spots on the board than
Agreed.
This game.
Speaking of, Spoon, how about those Cubs, man? I just want to say to Ben Brown, how dare you, honestly.
Thank you.
I really like this under 9 tonight. I took the under 9. I really liked it. It was one of my favorite bets tonight. And if you guys remember last night, what did I say last night about the under? I said, guys, I like every aspect of this under. I'm a little worried about Ben Brown. But if Ben Brown could just give us a decent average start, if he could just go up there and not absolutely suck, if he could just go out there and not get smoked, I think we're in good shape with the under. What does he do? He gives up 8 runs. The final score was 8-2. So other than the 8 runs Ben Brown gave up, there were 2 other runs scored in the whole game. So if there's, I don't know if there's ever been an instance where one player single-handedly lost an entire under 9 by himself, but that was tonight with Ben Brown. That being said, I bet the Cardinals. Spoon, you're with us. You're with me, right? Because I'm pretty sure I remember you co-signed that.
Yeah, I did co-sign that. Also, last night in the voice chat, I said Ben Brown is a 2-pitch guy. I don't know how he's still starting in the majors.
You did say
the
that.
The fastball looks nothing like the curveball. This St. Louis lineup is hitting better than it's been hitting. You lay off one, you pick the one you want to hit, and it's, I don't know. He's a guy that sets up for me more as of a reliever. It's frustrating to watch as a Cubs fan, and being on the Cardinals and not actually betting it was frustrating. Still 3 in one day, but I feel like I left money on the table, but I don't want to do that again today. So I went and moved on the Cardinals. I think this is a really good spot for the Cardinals young pitcher here, McGreevy. He's a lefty, and this Cubs team has not been hitting lefties the way we remember them. The Cubs bats in general have just cooled off. They're middle of the pack last 30 days and last 14 days, just 15 weighted runs created plus and 13 weighted runs created plus. And everybody still views this Cubs team like they're the number 1 or number 2 hitting team in baseball, and that's just not a true fact right now. And those numbers are reflecting a Wrigley Field that was just blowing out. If we look at the Seattle bats, they weren't playing in the same atmosphere, and the Cubs just, I don't feel like they're on that same level. McGreevy's a guy he's kind of like a Yu Darvish that's got just 6-7 pitches in his bag, can throw so many different things at you. The book's now out on him, and until you get a way to get to a guy like that, I feel like he has the advantage of most of the teams in the league. He's a mature guy. It's not overpowering stuff the way that the young rookie will be for the Cincinnati, but he's a very mature pitcher for his age, and it looks really good. There's quite a few ways to get there, but I think the Cardinals bullpen were able to save every arm. Everybody's nice and fresh. Jameson Taillon, he is a guy I like, and I feel like he pitches well at Wrigley, more so than on the road. And Bush is pretty pitcher friendly, but I just like McGreevy to be at home with a nice rested bullpen behind him, a hot lineup. I know my guy Dabby Cab, who's in the chat's been cashing on Burleson's props over and over again. I'm happy to have him on my lineup. But yeah, Cardinals money line.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I mean, if you take a step back and look, let's use the last 2 or 3 weeks. In my opinion, I'm getting the home team as an underdog. I got a plus 102, by the way. I bet this one with Spoon. I'm getting a home team as an underdog at a slight plus price with that whose lineup has been better recently. The Cards bats seem to be back. Whose bullpen I might take before the Cubs. At the very least, it's a wash. Maybe I think by the end of the season, we will say the Cardinals have a better bullpen than the Cubs. Completely
they have better arms.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the Cards bullpen is better than the Cubs. I know the last few weeks haven't really reflected that. And then starting pitching, dude, McGreevy looks pretty good. A couple people, not just Spoon, a couple people have talked positively about him. He throws with his left hand. The Cubs have not been getting to lefty starters. Yeah, was I getting a plus 102? I think this closes around a pick. So, yeah, I'm on the Cards too. What about TV Jones?
Yep, it's Cards for me too. Simple, Cubs versus lefty. Cardinals are hitting the ball. Cubs are looking kind of little shaky right now as of late too. So exactly what you guys said is just rinse and repeat for me too. Cardinals money line. I might even get spicy and then take a little bit of -1.5 money.
Next. Phillies, Astros in Houston. We got a difference of opinion here in the voice chat because sports scientist Jacob he really likes his bet. He's confident, stuck to his guns. So he took first 7 innings under 5.5 runs. So first 7 under 5.5. I got an 0-7, flat over 7 at -102. I think there's only going to be 7.5s tomorrow. We'll see. Obviously, I could most definitely be wrong, but I took the over. Both of these pitchers, I mean, there's a few things here. Obviously, the Astros have one of the best home lineups in baseball so far this season. I believe they're top 5 in basically every single category. They also have arguably the best lineup against lefties so far this season. Yes, they haven't seen a ton of good lefties, but still first on the year against lefties. So you've got Ranger Suarez, and honestly, it's better if I just show you because there's a couple things on the spreadsheet that really jump out here that put me over to this over. So here we go. So Ranger Suarez, what I was looking at here is, let's go down to Ranger Suarez. Ranger Suarez game logs. Oh, not Brewers, sorry. Okay. So Ranger Suarez game logs. Excellent, right? Pitching gem after gem. Against who? The Marlins, the Blue Jays, the Pirates, the Brewers ass, the Braves back before they were hitting, the Rockies, the Pirates, Cleveland. Yeah, them against lefties, that's hilarious. And then Arizona was his first start and he got rocked. So he's definitely guilty of pitching against a lot of bad lineups here. And then look at the Astros against lefties. Look at all these crooked numbers here. The lefty starters to pitch against the lefties, the Astros. I know they didn't get to Kikuchi. I know the last 2. That's a little concerning. But the Astros have been one of the most dangerous lineups against lefties all year. And then on the other side, you could kind of say the same thing for Framber Valdez. You got Tampa here. This is a great start against the Rays. But this is kind of before the Rays got hot, too. This is like right when they started to get hot. I mean, the Athletics, the White Sox, the Pirates. You got the Mariners at home. You got the Rangers. You got the Royals. So both these pitchers, good starting pitchers, they both pitched against easy competition. They're in the juice box here in Houston. I think I took a flat over 7 because I think we're going to see nothing but 7.5s tomorrow. That was my thought. What do you think, TV Jones?
Yeah, it was over for me, and if I had to pick a side, it was going to be Philly. Yes, I know Framber's been fine, but if you look lately, Athletics, White Sox, Pittsburgh, he's given up 2 each, 6, 5, and 7 innings. It looks pretty good, but he's walked 5, 9 total guys. He has struck out some guys, but he's just been giving up hits. He's been walking guys. He's given up runs. Philly, I think, can hit him. I know no Bryce Harper and all that other shit, yada, yada, yada. But you have Houston, who's one of the better lineups at home, too. But Rangers been good on the road, but you can say the exact same thing for him. He hasn't pitched against anybody, really. It's been pretty easy going for him. Now you're going to go get Houston. Regardless, I still think Philly can get to Framber, who hasn't looked incredibly sharp. He's been walking guys and giving up runs. And I think that's going to bode well for Philly to get runs. And I think Suarez can get hit up a little bit after now he's going to face like an actual team that can hit lefties and isn't bottom of the barrel, just garbage teams. So it would be over in Philly for me, but I like the over more than I like Philly money line.
Spoon, what do you think?
So it's not just the one lefty that Philly's lineup is missing. Brandon Marsh is also on the IL right now. So that's Bryce Harper and Brandon Marsh. So that just leaves one lefty available for the Phillies lineup tomorrow. So that means there's going to be 8 righties stacked there. I think that's significant for the reason that Framber Valdez struggles with lefties and he pitches really well to righties. He's a left-handed pitcher. This is a guy that he's really, the way he does it is just calculated. He'll put a runner on base that he's scared of, and he relies on his own ability to get a ground ball, to get double play, to get out of this inning. This is a pitcher's park that he's really he's used to pitching here. He really likes it. If you look at his numbers on the season, he's got a 2.35 ERA at home, a 3.0 xFIP. He's not had a single bad start here. I think this is just a spot where Framber's very comfortable pitching over and over again. I think Ranger Suarez, as you touched on, this is a guy that's gotten good numbers, but they're fraudulent. And I guess you can try to say the same thing about Framber Valdez, but you have to put more context to it. There's some pretty good. The lineups are in the top half of baseball. Like Tampa Bay is number 1 in baseball. Like you can't say that's the same level of competition. I think Framber's faced tougher competition. Overall, I have Houston minus 138 on my card. I got it right before the show started. I think it's still sitting right there. These bats, I think we've overlooked this. Left-handed pitching, they're number one in baseball over the last 30 days, number one in baseball over the full season. They hit really well at home, top 10 in baseball in the full season. This is just an Astro spot for me. I think Ranger Suarez is very liable to get touched. This Phillies bullpen is not a bullpen you can trust once we get outside the starting pitchers. I love the Houston bullpen.
Sports scientist Jacob is not liking our over picks in the comments. But he says, I don't disagree. We could see Suarez get touched. So I don't know. He's on first 7 under 5.5. I remember that. I know for a fact he's on that. All right.
I love the first 7 market.
I've actually never really, yes, if there's a couple bullpens you don't trust. Dodgers on the road in Colorado. We got this series starting in Coors. Robleski getting the start. How many innings do you think we'll see here from Robleski, Spoon? Like 4?
That's tough to say. He's warmed up in the bullpen. I believe you'll probably get 3 to 4, but I think if this guy's really cooking, I think they'd let him stay out there for 5 because this is an arm they would like to see eventually there, but it's just the amount of pitches that his arm's really warmed up for. So I think the most likely outcome is for him to go about 3 to 4 innings.
That's what I think too. I was saying, yeah, around 4. He pitched his last time out. He came out of the bullpen, and I think he pitched 4 innings in that game. I remember because I was on the other side and I needed to get to that Dodgers bullpen, and he came and just pitched the rest of the game. Kind of screwed me over there. I really don't know. I wouldn't bet the Dodgers at this price. I like the way the Rockies are playing. First game at Coors, Marquez. It would only be Rockies or over, but I mean, I don't. I'll put Rockies up, but I don't have a bet on it or anything. Do you guys have anything on this one?
No, it would just be over or nothing for me. I mean, Robleski's looked good his last 2, but that was Padres and then the Giants. We already know the Padres Padres struggle with lefties. It's not like Colorado's much better, but they're at home. Dodgers are just coming in. It would be over or nothing for me, but I'm honestly probably not even going to touch this game.
Spoon, it's a pass for you too.
Yeah, even though it's modeled high on Ballpark Pal, compared to most days around this time of year, it's kind of actually modeled low. I might just have a lean to the under just to try to buck the trend here, but I'm not going to put my money on this game.
Yeah, fuck that. Let's move on to the next one, which is Angels Red Sox. Thank God I didn't bet this one. This is probably the bet tonight that I was closest to placing under 9. You had the over, right, Spoon? Yeah, I really like the under 9.5. Thank God I didn't place it, man. What's the final score of that?
The first inning was nuts.
Yeah, was
8 runs.
Yeah. What's the final score of that? 9-5 Angels. I did like the Angels, though. I liked Angels and under, so I would have got that part. This game was going on when we did the voice chat, so I want to see who finished out the game for the Angels and what arms were used and stuff. If you guys have anything to say while I'm doing that. I know we got Crochet here against Tyler Anderson. Tyler Anderson has not been good first impression. I still trust Boston against lefties. I don't really trust them against righties, although they're kind of kicking me in the ass with that take last couple. So I think Boston can hit Tyler Anderson, who clearly seems to be slipping. I don't know if I trust the Angels to hit Crochet. Maybe this is a Red Sox -1. But again, I want to see what arms are used. I'm pulling it up now. Angels, they used everybody, but Jansen only threw 4 pitches. So they used everybody, but I think everyone should be available for the Angels. Probably be Red Sox -1, but this is like first glance throwing it out there. TV Jones, you have anything for this one?
Yeah, I bet Red Sox -1.5 here. Crochet, I trust a lot. Tyler Anderson, absolutely no faith in that guy whatsoever. And we did. I mean, Walker Buehler on the road is dude's ass. Absolute just fade.
Walker Buehler, Garrett Crochet. Oh, my bad.
No, I was just saying. I was saying.
Talking about today. Yeah.
Yeah. I was so pissed I didn't bet that team total. It was like a first inning over 4.5 cash would have been amazing, but
I think I made
Crochet.
fun of you for the pick too.
You did, and then it was the easiest bet on the board. Yeah. Boston -1.5. Crochet I like a lot. Boston versus lefties also really damn good. If you go back the last 3 weeks here, Boston second in baseball, 22.5% strikeout rate, a 10% walk rate, 227 ISO, 908 OPS, 149 WRC plus. And they have 272 plate appearances, so it's not like they've got like 113 and they've seen like 3 guys, 4 guys. They've seen plenty of lefty pitchers and they hit them all. Tyler Anderson, absolutely no faith in. You got wind. I believe the wind was blowing out in LA tomorrow. Blowing out 8 to 9 miles an hour. It's gonna be 73 and clear. I think Boston touches up Tyler Anderson, and yes, the bullpen didn't get used a bunch. Like everybody threw like 8 to 14 pitches, but Boston's just been on another level versus lefties right now, and Crochet is just that dude. So I played the -1.5 and -105.
Spoon, any thoughts on the Boston side here?
Yeah, so I ended up betting this game. I gave it out in the voice chat. I took the over 7.5 at -120 on ESPN Bet while we were talking about this. I was looking at it. It was a 5-5 game. I was kind of hoping we'd get some good arms from both teams that got used up in the game. That didn't happen quite as much as I'd like, but all the books are starting to move this a little bit towards the over from the juiced under on the 8s they had, and ESPN Bet's now moving their 7.5 to a -130. So I like the way the market's reacting to it. My big thing here is I hear you guys talking all this really good things about Garrett Crochet. This Angels lineup is a different lineup, in my opinion, than what it's been on the full season. We need to draw a line in the sand. Ron Washington is not the manager anymore. They have a new manager, and this team has responded really well to it. Every single game they've scored over 8 runs now. What was the final score today?
9-5.
I want to say, yeah. So that's 8, 9, and 8 under this new manager. At home, just the good vibes. I think this is still the win one for the Gipper. Your old manager's sick. This is a 73-year-old legend of the game that's taught half the people that have ever played baseball on the West Coast how to field an infield ground ball. I think this is just an angel spot through and through for being able to get to Garrett Crochet. And then on the other side of this, Tyler Anderson, I think he's going to get destroyed by this Boston lineup. They're going to stack 7 lefties versus him. And if you want to look at Tyler Anderson's numbers, he's got a 424 WOBA, 1.73 whip, and 5.49 xFIP versus lefties on the season. These young bats for the Red Sox are hungry. Obviously, they just traded the biggest bat in the lineup. A lot of talk around it. These young guys want to step up. They want to play. This is a spot to earn their right. I think there's runs scored everywhere here. Same as it was today. I was on the over. I really like it.
All right, let's move on. I'm not betting this, by the way.
Boston's bullpen leads the league in blown saves as well.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think if they even blew half of what they already have this year, I think they've honestly got like 10 more wins.
Shout out Jose.
Nats, Padres in San Diego. Toast was at the game, saw his team get obliterated tonight. He had the over, though, so I'm sure he enjoyed the runs. Nats money line came in. Still can't believe I made it to the green after starting 0-3 tonight. That was awesome. Shout out to the Nats and the Pirates. Trevor Williams, I looked at this game very briefly. I think the Padres may put Trevor Williams in another zip code here. I like Padres runs. As far as the other side, I don't know enough about Burgert. So I like the Padres to score. I'm all ears if you guys have a lean any sort of way. But I like the Padres to score. TV Jones, Spoon, either you guys?
Yeah, I like the over 8.5. Washington's bats, they've been looking pretty damn good lately. I know Burgert, whatever the hell his name is, he's looked pretty good in his limited starts, but Trevor Williams is not. And now we're getting Padres versus a righty instead of a lefty, where they really struggle with lefties. And I know Toast always talks about it's never like great weather there, but it's going to be 67 sunny. You're going to have 6 to 8 mile an hour winds. Yes, it's going left to right, but they can still hit. And then Williams versus lefties is just abysmal, especially on the road. So, Jackson Merrill bases, something like that. But over 8.5 or nothing for me. I think both these bullpens and pitchers can give up a few runs here. Especially now we're getting the Padres against a righty instead of a lefty. I think they can really take off.
Yeah, I mean, the top of this order is going to be a nightmare for Trevor Williams, who really always struggles to get lefties out, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So look at the top of this order for Trevor Williams. Look at the lefties. So you got Merrill, Arias, and Sheets. So 3 of the first 5, and then look at the righties. It's Tatis and Machado. So the first 5 hitters in this lineup is going to be tough for Trevor Williams every time he goes through that, which I would imagine will only be twice. So I like the Padres to score. Don't necessarily dislike the over. I would like to see this guy Burker. I would like to know a little more about when I'm looking at the Nationals. It's pretty much like, how's the pitcher against lefties? Because they're so loaded with lefty bats. Just to bring that same screen up. So this is what I'm always asking for Nationals games. Can the pitcher get lefties out? Because look at the Nats here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bell will be on the left side. Then you got a righty. 1, 2. So we got 7 lefties in the lineup for the Nats. So in order for me to decide if I think the Nationals are going to be able to score runs, I'm going to need to know Burger splits against lefties. If anyone, Spoon, you happen to have that available anywhere?
So I've sort of been digging into this. At first glance, it'll look like he has pretty good splits versus lefty. 0.86 whip on the season. It's only 11.2 innings pitched, 0 home runs given up, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts. And that's at the major league level. And that's compared to 1.05 whip versus righties. He's given up 2 home runs and 5 walks. But at the minors with the El Paso Chihuahuas versus lefties, he got crushed. 1.64 whip, 4 home runs given up, 7 walks, just over 14 innings. And that's versus righties, a 1.38. 2 home runs, less hits in 7 less innings pitched. So lefties at the AAA level got to him. So I think that success in the short time here at the majors is probably kind of fugazi.
I mean, the minor league numbers were 14 innings versus 11.2 innings. It's like it's almost an equal sample size.
I think the lefties are going to be able to get to him. If they're getting to him in AAA, they're also going to get to him here. That's my opinion. So San Diego probably plays in the PCL for as far as their AAA team. Not 100% thinking off the top of my head, but so maybe there's some of that coming into play. I don't have a play in this game, but I'd like to put myself up for -1 San Diego. I don't trust Trevor Williams at all. I think this lineup can get to him. I was hoping to just see like really good numbers for Burger, and I don't have him, so that's why it's not on my card. But yeah, we need a bigger sample size for these guys. Like you need multiple seasons. Going back to 2024, 1.64 whip versus lefties. Again, more home runs given up. 2023 kind of evens out. This is not anything I want to back.
What can I get? I can get a -165. That's just too much. I swear I would bet this at like -150. I do think the Padres win this game, and I think they smoke Trevor Williams. So yeah,
take a screenshot of the board when I see -150 and send it to you then.
Yeah, if I see a -150, I'll bet it. Definitely. And maybe some sharp action comes in on Washington. I don't know, but I
think people are gonna like the Nats here.
Me too. And so if this number gets bet down and I can get a -150 at any point, I will take the Padres money line. I do think they win this game, and I think they're up like 6-1 in the 5th. All right, so let's go to the next game. Marlins Giants, new series starting here. Big Cal. I still think this Giants lineup is going to come around with Devers. They've had a couple really disappointing games. They also had a nice one though. Let me pull it up. I bailed on the voice chat for the last few games because I was setting up the show. So this is my first time looking at it. Did you guys look at this one?
I quickly looked at it. My big thing here is, can Justin Verlander finally pitch a good game? I don't see why not. These Marlins bats leave a lot to be desired. Bottom third of the league in just about every category you look at. Cal Quantrill on the other side of this, I think he's a guy that gets hit by righties really hard. The Giants have some good righties, but it wasn't enough for me to get there. It was too much of a price delay with Verlander, who I just don't trust at this point in his career right now.
Yeah, I took the Giants in Verlander's last start, actually. What do you think, TV Jones?
Yeah, Verlander under 4.5 strikeouts, minus 120. If you look at the Marlins, their numbers versus righties on paper, disgusting, not good whatsoever. But I mean, they got a sub 20% strikeout rate versus righties. Verlander, yes, he had 6 strikeouts his last outing, but I mean, 1, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 9, 2, and 5 this year. It's not like he's lighting it up, and he's not going really like too terribly deep into games, like 5 innings, 6 if he's having an absolutely dominant outing. I think Quantrill will be fine. I know it's at home at night, San Francisco. Ball's going to be deadened. But I think the Marlins are going to be just fine against him and not strike out. I mean, if you look at their last couple of games, 4, 5, 3, 3, 3, 4, 6, 3, 2, 4, 1, 6, 5. Like, they're not striking out an ungodly amount versus righty starters this year. Like, this entire year, they've been just fine, especially the last month or so. So Verlander coming off of, I think, like paternity or something like that, having a kid. Coming back, now he's going to get the Marlins, who don't strike out. They give you good at-bats. Do they ever end well? Usually no, but they don't strike out, and they're not just giving you free Ks just up and down that lineup. So I think they'll be just fine. Under 4.5 strikeouts, minus 120 is how I would play this.
I'm just going to put up over or pass. I don't like betting overs in this ballpark, but the Marlins did make some noise the last 2 righty starters they've seen in that Braves series. It was Bryce Elder and Grant Holmes. I know they didn't score any runs on Grant Holmes, but they had 10 base runners on him in less than 6 innings, so they had the whip up close to 2. Bryce Elder, they had 11 base runners in less than 6 innings, so they did make a little bit of noise in those 2 games. Verlander has had his problems keeping guys off base, so I think we're going to see some Marlins base runners, and maybe they come around. I'm not going to bet this, though, so I'm not going to waste any more time talking about it. Over or pass?
If this price gets up high enough, I'd be tempted to dabble with the Marlins, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought about it, too, but I don't know. Over or pass? Spoon, where can these people find your stuff?
Yeah, you can find me on X at Spoons Bets. I post all my action there. I already have my card that I bet up tonight. You can find me over at Pub Sports Radio. If you guys are looking for afternoon show with Sauce not doing his afternoon show, they got regular content in the afternoon. My buddy Jimmy the Bag's going to be on all week. I'll be joining him Thursday, and then me and my friend Wine Time do our own show on Sunday. Yeah, thanks for having me on. See you again later this week.
For sure. And you guys know where to find TV Jones, but that's his Twitter underneath there, and he's tagged.
We might be college basketball. We might be doing a little off-season breakdown this week. Kind of getting back into it. We're closing in less than 5 months till college basketball.
Wait, the Pump Fake Pod is dropping an app?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
so
we might be dabbling in.
So yeah, Trevor's YouTube channel is the Pump Fake Pod. It's a college basketball channel. So basically, I mean, yes. If you follow this channel, you'll probably already know about them because they usually went on right before us. So it was kind of like the two show package during college basketball. But all right, everyone, enjoy your night. Bet responsibly. Betting League will have the stuff up in about 20, 30 minutes. Hit me up if you need me. I'll be up for a while.